dark, I noticed a barn light burning long after the fields went black, while the road lay still and empty, like it wasn't coming back. I had driven past that corner with a heart too tired to feel, carrying a quiet heaviness I didn't know was real. But the glow against the darkness held a promise soft and true, and the hush around that old red barn felt like something pulling through. So I pulled off to the shoulder as the engine ticked inside, and I felt a gentle mercy standing with me in the night. In that lonely stretch of silence where the world had gone to sleep, I could feel a steady presence watching over what I keep. Barn lights still burning told my restless heart to wait, showing me the Lord was working even when it felt too late. When my faith felt fragile and my hope was wearing thin, grace was still burning within. Barn lights still burning cut a path through doubt and fear, telling me the Lord was closer than the night that brought me here. When I felt forgotten, He was certain, sure. Love was steady and secure right then. The farmer locking up, an aging farmer closed the door with a hand both slow and warm, lines of weather in his face, boots shaped by dust and storms. He looked at me and nodded once, like he'd seen this scene before. Said, son, that light's been left on for the ones who need it most. He spoke of years of waiting, of nights he questioned God, how he learned faith isn't proven by the harvest or the loss. And the truth inside his simple words settled deep into my chest, showing God keeps watching darkness when we're doing our best. In the patience He carried quietly, in the trust He didn't fake, I felt something deep within me finally begin to wake. Barn lights still burning lifted weight off tired eyes, turning silent heavy questions into peace I couldn't buy. When my tears kept falling without warning signs, grace was still burning inside. Barn lights still burning glowed with mercy in the air, telling me the Lord was present even when no one was there. When my courage faltered and my knees gave in, love was already settling within. Still burning, still burning, still burning. I don't need the road lit up, I don't need the whole way clear. I just need one steady sign that He's always near. Every sleepless night knows His watchful care. Every broken prayer finds Him standing there. Barn lights still burning as the farmer turned the lock, and the door swung softly closed. I could feel my weary spirit loosen weight it always chose. For the light still left behind me, and the calm within that place turned the doubt inside my memory into something touched by grace. I waved as he walked off slowly toward a house lit warm and low, and the barn light kept on shining like it had no need to go. On that quiet stretch of highway where my fear had been, I learned God keeps the light on for us then. Barn light still burning taught my restless soul to rest, letting go of all the questions I had carried in my chest. When my hope felt distant in the darkened wind, grace was still burning within. Barn light still burning echoes through my later years, turning nights of quiet worry into healing through the tears. What I thought was ending never did. Love was always burning within. Arriving before the sun, I reached the old crossing just before the sky turned gold, where the night still held its silence and the morning felt untold. I had walked a road of questions with my answers running thin, and the weight inside my spirit felt too heavy to begin. But the horizon slowly opened like a door I hadn't seen, and the hush before the daylight felt honest, wide and clean. So I stood there without moving as the darkness slipped away, and I felt a gentle mercy meet me at the break of day. In that fragile early moment where the night and morning meet, I could feel a steady presence placing calm beneath my feet. Crossing at daybreak told my weary heart to stand, showing me the Lord was faithful even when I'd lost the plan. When my faith felt fragile and my strength began to shake, grace was meeting me right there at daybreak. Crossing at daybreak cut a path through doubt and fear, telling me the Lord was closer than the night I carried here. When I felt uncertain, worn and small, hope was rising with the dawn at all. The man waiting for the bus, a quiet man, stood near the road with a bag worn thin by years, eyes that held 1,000 mornings, and a pocket full of fears. He nodded as the light grew soft and said, "Son, I know this place. I've waited here for answers I could never seem to chase." He spoke of starting over, of mistakes he couldn't mend, how God met him every morning, not with blame but as a friend. And the truth inside his simple words settled deep into my chest, showing God meets broken people before the world wakes up the rest. In the patience he had learned there, in the hope he chose to keep, I felt something deep within me finally loosen, finally breathe. Crossing at daybreak lifted weight from off my soul, turning restless second guessing into peace I couldn't hold. When my tears kept falling from mistakes, grace was meeting me right there at daybreak. Crossing at daybreak, glowed with mercy in the air, telling me the Lord was guiding even when I wasn't sure. When my courage faltered and my knees would shake, love was standing with me at daybreak, at daybreak. I don't need the road explained, I don't need the past erased. I will trust the morning light falling gently on my face. Every ending night meets his steady grace, every broken step finds its rightful place. As the bus lights came in slowly from the far end of the lane, I could feel my weary spirit start to hope without restraint. For the man's quiet courage and the crossing in the light turned the fear inside my memory into something not so tight. I watched him board with steady steps as the morning opened wide, and the road ahead felt different without promising a ride. In that place between the shadows where my doubt had been, I learned God meets us early then. Crossing at daybreak taught my restless soul to rise, letting go of all the questions I had carried through the night. When my hope felt distant and my heart would ache, grace was meeting me right there at daybreak. Crossing at daybreak echoes through my later years, turning nights of quiet worry into healing through the tears. What I thought was ending wasn't late, love was waiting for me at daybreak. Single acoustic haunted rings, organ pad fades slowly, morning silence. He's setting out with questions. I stepped onto the open road with dust rising at my feet. Every mile felt undecided, every thought hard to repeat. I had carried restless worries from a season hard and long, and the map inside my spirit never told me where I'd gone. But the horizon kept on opening, no matter where I aimed. And the quiet in the distance felt like mercy without name. So I walked into the sunlight as the morning stretched and glowed, and I felt a gentle promise, meet me on the open road. In that space between directions, where the fear began to fade, I could feel a calm assurance, moving steady, unafraid. Dust on the open road told my wandering heart to trust, showing me the Lord was faithful, even when the way was dust. When my strength felt scattered and my faith felt thin and slow, grace was walking with me on the road. Dust on the open road settled quietly in place, telling me the Lord was present in each unmarked hidden space. When I felt uncertain, He already knew. Hope was growing as I moved ahead. The hitchhiker's story, a weathered hitchhiker, stood where two highways crossed, eyes that carried many stories of the years he thought he'd lost. He lifted up his thumb and smiled with a look both tired and kind. Said, son, I've walked these roads myself with a broken, restless mind. He spoke of wrong turns taken, of nights beneath the stars, how he learned that God can meet you exactly where you are. And the truth inside his laughter settled deep into my chest, showing God redeems the journey and not just where we end or rest. In the miles he had remembered, in the hope he wouldn't lose, I felt something deep within me shift its weight and change its view. Dust on the open road lifted pressure from my soul, turning questions without answers into steps that made me whole. When my tears kept falling farther than I'd known, grace kept walking with me on. Dust on the open road glowed with mercy in the light, telling me the Lord was guiding every turn, both day and night. When my courage faltered and my heart felt slow, love was steady on the road with me on the open road, on the open road. I don't need the finish line, I don't need to see the end. I will trust the steady steps He keeps placing now and then. Every broken mile knows His guiding hand, every winding path fits inside His plan. As the sun climbed higher and the dust began to fade, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a calmer, steadier pace. For the hitchhiker's quiet wisdom and the road beneath my shoes turned the weight inside my memory into something I could use. I waved as he walked onward toward a place I couldn't see, and the words he left behind him kept on traveling with me on that long and open roadway where the future softly showed. I learned faith keeps moving forward with the dust along the road. Dust on the open road, dust on the open road, taught my restless soul to rise, letting go of all the questions I had carried through the nights when my hope felt distant under endless sky. Grace was closer than my cry began. Dust on the open road echoes through my later years, turning miles of uncertainty into healing through the tears. What I felt was nowhere left to go. Love was walking every road. I know open road. Stopping beside a fence, and I leaned against a fence post where the pasture met the sky, evening settling around me like it knew the reasons why I carried quiet burdens. I was tired of holding tight, and the questions in my spirit followed me into the night. But the stillness near that fence line felt more honest than my fear, and the sound of cattle breathing made the world feel strangely clear. So I bowed my head in silence with no words prepared or planned, and I felt a gentle mercy take my worry from my hands. In that place with no expectations, where no answers tried to speak, I could feel a deeper comfort meet me in the weep. Fancy post prayer told my restless heart to stay, showing me the Lord was listening even when I couldn't pray. When my faith felt fragile and my hope was running thin, grace was meeting me right there again. Fancy post prayer held my fear without a sound, telling me the Lord was present on this quiet stretch of ground. When I felt forgotten, lost and bare, love was listening to my prayer. The rancher passing by, a tired rancher across the field, with a lantern hanging low, boots worn down by years of weather, and a pace both slow and slow. He tipped his hat and paused a moment, like he'd seen this scene before. Said, "Son, God hears us clearly when we've got no speech left anymore." He spoke of nights with empty barns of hope he thought was gone, how we learned that silent prayers still carry on and on, and the truth inside his quiet words settled deep into my chest, showing God knows broken language better than the rest. In the strength he found in silence, in the trust he didn't share, I felt something deep within me finally breathe a prayer. Fancy post prayer lifted weight off tired breath, turning heavy expectation into peace I hadn't met. When my tears kept falling without care, Grace was listening to my prayer. Fancy post prayer glowed with mercy in the dark, telling me the Lord was faithful long before the daylight spark. When my courage faltered and my knees bent there, love was answering my prayer. My prayer, my prayer, my prayer. I don't need the words to sound right, I don't need the timing clear. I just need to know He hears every breath, every fear, every silent cry, reaches heaven's air. Every broken heart finds Him waiting then there. Walking away lighter as the lantern drifted farther, and the field grew calm and wide. I could feel my weary spirit set its heavy load aside for the prayer I never spoke out, and the stillness in that place turned the weight inside my memory into something filled with grace. I stood a moment longer where the fence met open land, then I walked back down the road with lighter open hands. In that quiet stretch of pasture where my doubt had been, I learned God hears us best within. Fancy post prayer taught my restless soul to rest, letting go of all the questions I had carried in my chest. When my hope felt distant and my heart laid bare, grace was listening to my prayer. Fancy post prayer echoes through my later years, turning nights of silent worry into healing through the tears. What I thought was empty air, love was listening to my prayer. Standing in empty fields, I walked across the open fields after harvest had its say, where the ground looked bare and honest underneath the fading day. I had given all my effort to a season hard and long. Still I wondered in the silence if I'd done something wrong. But the roads were calm and patient, no complaint in what was gone, and the soil held quiet promise of a future moving on. So I breathed into the stillness as the evening shadows cast, and I felt a gentle mercy in the fields after harvest. In that space where work was finished and the waiting had begun, I could feel a deeper wisdom saying, child, the work is done. Fields after harvest told my weary heart to rest, showing me the Lord is faithful even when there's nothing left. When my strength felt empty and my hope felt far apart, grace was still working in my heart. Fields after harvest held a peace I couldn't earn, telling me the Lord was planting what I couldn't yet discern. When I felt uncertain, lost and far, love was growing where we are right now. The old farmer's lesson. An old farmer crossed the pasture with a hat worn thin and kind, eyes that carried years of patience and a weather-steady mind. He stopped beside the fence line with a breath both slow and true. Said, son, empty fields don't mean that God is finished with you. He spoke of years with poor returns, of seasons filled with doubt, how some harvests teach surrender more than they teach us how to shout. And the truth inside his weathered voice settled deep into my chest, showing God works deepest places when we're called to rest. In the wisdom softly spoken, in the faith he didn't chase, I felt something deep within me start to finally slow its pace. Fields after harvest lifted pressure from my soul, turning silent disappointment into peace I couldn't hold. When my tears kept falling through the darkened past, grace was still working steadfast. Fields after harvest glow with mercy in the land, telling me the Lord was shaped what I still don't understand. When my courage wavered in the dark, love was working in my heart right there. After harvest, after harvest, I don't need the growth right now, I don't need the seed to show. I will trust the quiet work He is doing down below. Every resting field knows His patient hand, every waiting heart rests within His plan. As the moon rose slow and silver over fields both wide and bare, I could feel my weary spirit release its quiet prayer. For the farmer's simple wisdom and the land beneath my feet turned the weight inside my memory into something I could need. I watched him walk toward the barn as the night grew calm and still, and the fields lay open empty, yet somehow hopeful still. In that place of no conclusions, where my fear had been, I learned God works the deepest growth within. Fields after harvest taught my restless soul to trust, letting go of all the striving I carried in the dust. When my hope felt distant in the past, grace was still working steadfast. Fields after harvest echo through my later years, turning seasons of uncertainty into healing through the tears. What I thought was ending wasn't last. Love was growing after harvest at last. Soft acoustic strums played low and dry. I turned on to a battle roll, barely audible in the bass. Reminiscing round cold memories I tried to hide each day. I had carried quiet fears from a life that moved too fast, and the sound beneath my tires felt like echoes of the past. But the rhythm of the gravel slowed my breathing, slowed my mind, and the open fields beside me felt forgiving, wide and kind. So I eased my hands upon the wheel as the noise began to ease, and I felt a gentle mercy meet me on that road of peace. In that space beyond the hurry, where the world let go of speed, I could feel a steady presence answer what I didn't plead. Gravel road mercy told my restless heart to slow, showing me the Lord was patient even when I didn't grow. When my faith felt fragile and my hope felt thin and small, grace was walking every mile through it all. Gravel road mercy washed the dust from off my eyes, telling me the Lord was faithful, far beyond my reasons why. When I felt uncertain, lost and worn, hope was waiting further on that road. The man fixing his mailbox, a tired man fixed his mailbox where the gravel met the lane. Hands shaped by years of hard work and a heart acquainted with pain. He looked up and nodded gently like he knew the weight I bore. Said, son, I've learned forgiveness on this road and nothing more. He spoke of words he wished back, of bridges burned too fast, how God met him in the quiet when the shouting finally passed, and the truth inside his weathered voice settled deep into my chest, showing God restores the broken when we finally rest. In the grace he learned by stopping, in the peace he didn't chase, I felt something deep within me start to soften into grace. Gravel road mercy lifted weight from off my soul, turning guilt I'd carried quietly into something he could hold when my tears kept falling without control. Grace was steady on the road again. Gravel road mercy glowed with kindness in the air, telling me the Lord was present even when I wasn't there. When my courage faltered and my knees grew weak, love was walking every step with me. Mercy on the gravel road, mercy on the gravel road. I don't need the past erased, I don't need the blame undone. I will trust the quiet work He is doing as I run. Every dusty mile knows a steady hand, every broken heart fits inside His plan. Trod on lighter than before as the mailbox stood behind me. and the field stretched wide and still. I could feel my weary spirit finally bend to something real. For the man's quiet forgiveness turned the weight inside my memory into something I could heal. I waved as he went back inside, and the dust began to fall, and the road ahead felt gentler without questions at all. In that stretch of open country where my doubt had been, I learned God meets us gently then. Gravel road and mercy told my restless soul to rest, letting go of all the judgments I had carried in my chest. When my hope felt distant and my heart felt cold, grace was walking down that road again. Gravel road and mercy echoes through my later years, turning miles of quiet regret into healing through the tears. What I thought was failure all along, love was guiding me back home by road. Single acoustic chord rings, banjo harmonic fades, organ pad dissolves, silence. Quiet road, I walked along Cottonwood Road while the morning stretched its wings, where the wind moved through the branches like 1,000 unseen things. I had carried heavy questions from a restless, sleepless night, and the weight upon my spirit still refused to see the light. But the breeze against my jacket felt like something calling me, and the sound among the leaves held a gentle honesty. So I slowed my pace and listened as the sun began to glow, and I felt a tender mercy in the morning wind that flowed. In that quiet early moment where the world had yet to speak, I could feel a calm assurance touch the places I was weak. Morning wind on Cottonwood Road told my weary heart to stay, showing me the Lord was faithful before I knew how to pray. When my faith felt fragile and my strength was running low, grace was moving in the flow again. Morning wind on Cottonwood Road washed the dust from off my sight, telling me the Lord was present even in the quiet light. When I felt uncertain, He already knew. Hope was breathing something new in me. In the peace she carried lightly, in the strength she didn't fake, I felt something deep within me finally begin to wake. Morning wind on Cottonwood Road lifted shadows from my mind, turning all my restless questions into hope I didn't find. When my tears kept falling longer than I knew, grace stepped in and carried through again. Morning wind on Cottonwood Road, glow with mercy in the trees, telling me the Lord was working in the spaces in between. When my courage wavered and my knees bent low, love was steady in the flow with me. Morning wind on Cottonwood Road, morning wind on Cottonwood Road. I don't need tomorrow clear, I don't need the answers fast. I will trust the breath of grace moving gently through my past. Every quiet dawn knows His faithful hand. Every restless heart rests where He stands. Walking on with lighter steps as the sunlight filled the roadway and the breeze began to fade. I could feel my weary spirit find a calmer choice I'd made. For the woman's quiet wisdom and the wind among the trees turned the weight inside my Mary into something I could breathe. A way that she stepped inside again, and the screen door softly closed, and the road ahead felt open. Without telling how it goes, in the hush of early morning, where my doubt had slowly bowed, I learned God walks beside us long before we say it loud. Morning wind on Cottonwood Road taught my restless soul to rise, letting go of heavy worry I had carried through the nights. When my hope felt distant under changing skies, grace was closer than my cries again. Morning wind on Cottonwood Road echoes through my later years, turning quiet disappointment into healing through the tears. What I thought was waiting far too long, love was moving all along with me. Single slide, no drifts, organ pad dissolves slowly, wind like silence, silence. I stood beneath the porch light as the rain fell calm and slow. Every drop like quiet questions I was scared to really know. I carried restless burdens from a week that wouldn't bend, and the sound upon the tin roof felt like thoughts that wouldn't end. But the glow against the raindrops held a kindness soft and clear, and the rhythm of the rainfall felt like mercy drawing near. So I leaned against the doorway while the night began to wane, and I felt a gentle promise in the porch light through the rain. In that shelter from the weather, where the noise began to fade, I could feel a steady presence, stronger than the storm I'd made.
Porch light through the rain told my weary heart to stay, showing me the Lord was faithful, even on the longest days when my faith felt fragile and my strength was worn and thin. Grace was shining through the rain again. Porch light through the rain
cut a path through doubt and fear, telling me the Lord was closer than the night that held me here. When I felt forgotten, He remained. Hope was glowing through the rain. That night, the neighbor's quiet words, the quiet neighbor stepped outside with a coat pulled tight and old eyes that carried many seasons, hands that trembled in the cold. He nodded once beneath the light, like he'd seen this scene before. Said, "Son, storms don't mean he's silent." He spoke of nights he waited, of prayers he thought were lost, how the rain taught him that mercy often comes with patient cost. And the truth inside his weathered voice settled deep into my chest, showing God stays close in storms when we're doing our best. In the calm he learned by waiting, in the trust he didn't fake, I felt something deep within me finally loosen what it held too tight. Porch light through the rain lifted weight off tired eyes, turning silent heavy questions into peace I couldn't buy. When my tears kept falling without refrain, grace was shining through the rain again. Porch light through the rain glowed with mercy in the air, telling me the Lord was present even when no one was there. When my courage faltered and my knees would bend, love was standing through the rain. I don't need the storm to stop, I don't need the skies made clear, I just need to know His light is still burning right here. Every restless night knows His faithful hand, every broken prayer meets Him where we stand. Stepping back into the night as the rain began to soften and the clouds grew thin and gray, I could feel my weary spirit find a calmer kind of way. For the neighbor's quiet wisdom and the glow that never fled turned the weight inside my memory into something gently said. I thanked Him as He turned inside and the screen door softly closed, and the porch light kept on shining like it never needed rose. In that calm between the raindrops where my fear had been, I learned God keeps the light on then. Porch light through the rain taught my restless soul to rest, letting go of all the worries I had carried in my chest. When my hope felt distant in the rain, grace was shining through the rain again. Porch light through the rain echoes through my later years, turning nights of quiet worry into healing through the tears. What I thought was ending never did. Love was shining through the rain porch light through the rain again.
Driving the last mile, I slowed down on the last long mile before the town came into view, where the road feels wide and honest and the sky hangs low and blue. I had carried quiet tension from a week that never eased, and the hum inside the engine matched the weight inside of me. But the darkness felt forgiving in that stretch with no demands, and the steady line ahead of me felt like something God had planned. So I eased my foot off the gas as the night grew calm and mild, and I felt the gentle mercy on that quiet open mile. In that space between arrivals, where the heart can finally breathe, I could feel a calm assurance I didn't earn or need. Quiet mile before town told my restless soul to slow, showing me the Lord was faithful even when I didn't know. When my strength felt fragile and my courage let me down, grace was meeting me right there before town. Quiet mile before town held my worry without sound, telling me the Lord was present long before I turned around. When I felt uncertain, lost and worn, hope was waiting just beyond that road. The trucker at the pull-off, an old trucker stood beside his rig at a gravel pull-off sign, face shaped by years of long-haul nights and thoughts he couldn't outrun. He nodded like he knew that place, said, "Son, this mile right here has talked me through more prayers than the roads that disappeared." He spoke of running hard for years, of missing what was home, how God met him in the pauses he once tried to outrun alone. And the truth inside his tired smile settled deep into my chest, showing God restores direction when we finally rest. In the wisdom born of slowing, in the peace he finally found, I felt something deep within me gently touch the ground. Quiet mile before town lifted pressure from my chest, turning anxious endless questions into moments meant for rest. When my tears kept falling without a sound, grace was steady on the ground again. Quiet mile before town glowed with mercy in the dark, telling me the Lord was guiding every step before the start. When my faith felt fragile and my knees bent low, love was waiting on the road, I know, before town. Before town. I don't need the city lights, I don't need the sign that says I'm home. I will trust the quiet road
where my faith has grown. Every slowing heart knows His steady hand. Every open mile rests inside His plan. Turning toward the lights as the town lights slowly shimmered. On the edge of where I stood, I could feel my weary spirit. For the trucker's quiet honesty and the mile that asked no more turned the weight inside my memory into something I could store. I waved as he climbed back inside, and his engine rumbled low, and the road ahead felt gentler than the roads I used to know. In that stretch before arrival, where my doubt had been, I learned God meets us early then. Quiet mile before town taught my restless soul to trust, letting go of all the hurry I had carried in the dust. When my hope felt distant and my heart worn down, grace was waiting just before town. Quiet mile before town echoes through my later years, turning restless expectation into healing through the tears. What I thought was waiting too long, love was guiding all along my road. Single acoustic note fades. Up and where two roads meet, I stopped at Pine Crossing, where the roads don't hurry through, where the trees stand tall and listening to every thought you choose. I had been running from decisions I was scared to finally face, and the noise inside my spirit left no quiet open space. But the stillness in the pines felt heavier than sound, and the air around the crossing slowed my feet against the ground. So I stood there without moving as the daylight softened thin, and I felt a gentle mercy asking what I carried in that pause between directions where no answer felt complete. I could feel a deeper wisdom teaching restless hearts to breathe. Stillness at Pine Crossing told my racing soul to stay, showing me the Lord was present even when I lost my way. When my faith felt scattered and my courage felt unsure, grace was standing steady, pure. Stillness at Pine Crossing held my fear without a sound, telling me the Lord was working even while I stood my ground. When I felt uncertain, He was close. Peace was louder than my doubts that day. The ranger's quiet advice, a forest ranger passed me with a lantern dim and low, boots worn down by many seasons, walking paths he didn't know. He nodded like he'd seen this moment many times before. Said, son, the trail reveals itself when you stop running for the door. He spoke of storms in deep woods, nights with no clear view, how standing still and listening was sometimes all he'd do. And the truth inside his steady tone settled deep into my chest, showing God can speak the clearest when we finally rest in the patience he had learned there, in the trust he chose to keep. I felt something deep within me finally unclench its grip. Stillness at Pine Crossing lifted weight from off my mind, turning restless second guessing into peace I couldn't find. When my tears kept falling without a sound, grace was already all around again. Stillness at Pine Crossing glowed with mercy in the air, telling me the Lord was guiding even when I wasn't there. When my strength felt fragile and my knees would bend, love was holding me to the end right then. Stillness at Pine Crossing, stillness at Pine Crossing, stillness at Pine Crossing. I don't need the road to speak, I don't need the sign to show. I will trust the quiet hand leading where I need to go. Every waiting heart knows his steady pace, every silent step rests inside his grace. Leaving with lighter steps as the lantern faded softly and the ranger walked away, I could feel my weary spirit find a calmer kind of way. For the pause at Pine Crossing and the silence in that place turned the weight inside my memory into something touched by grace. I took one step, not rushing, letting faith decide the speed, and the path ahead grew clearer without promising what I'd need. In the hush between the pine trees, where my doubts had been, I learned God walks beside us when we finally let him in. Stillness at Pine Crossing told my restless soul to rise, letting go of all the answers I had chased through sleepless nights. When my hope felt distant under open skies, grace was closer than my cries again. Stillness at Pine Crossing echoes through my later years, turning hesitation and fear into healing through the tears. What I thought was waiting felt so long. Love was leading me along all along. Sang all the acoustic choir relief. stopping where two roads meet. I stopped at Pine Crossing, where the roads don't hurry through, where the trees stand tall and listening to every thought you choose. I had been running from decisions I was scared to finally face, and the noise inside my spirit left no quiet open space. But the stillness in the pines felt heavier than sound, and the air around the crossing slowed my feet against the ground. So I stood there without moving as the daylight softened thin, and I felt a gentle mercy asking what I carried in.
In that pause between directions where no answer felt complete, I could feel a deeper wisdom teaching restless hearts to breathe.
Stillness at Pine Crossing told my racing soul to stay, showing me the Lord was present even when I lost my way. When my faith felt scattered and my courage felt unsure, grace was standing steady, pure. Stillness at Pine Crossing held my fear without a sound, telling me the Lord was working even while I stood my ground. When I felt uncertain, He was close. Peace was louder than my doubts that day.
The ranger's quiet advice, a forest stranger passed me with a lantern dim and low, boots worn down by many seasons. Walking past, he didn't know. He nodded like he'd seen this moment many times before. Said, son, the trail reveals itself when you stop running for the door.
He spoke of storms in deep woods, of nights with no clear view, how standing still and listening was sometimes all he'd do. And the truth inside his steady tone settled deep into my chest, showing God can speak the clearest when we finally rest.
In the patience he had learned there, in the trust he chose to keep, I felt something deep within me finally unclench its grip.
Stillness at Pine Crossing lifted weight from off my mind, turning restless second-guessing into peace I couldn't find. When my tears kept falling without a sound, grace was already all around again. Stillness at Pine Crossing glowed with mercy in the air, telling me the Lord was guiding even when I wasn't there. When my strength felt fragile and my knees would bend, love was holding me to the end. Right then, stillness at Pine Crossing, stillness at Pine Crossing. I don't need the road to speak, I don't need the sign to show. I will trust the quiet hand leading where I need to go. Every waiting heart knows His steady pace, every silent step rests inside His grace. Stillness left not rushing, letting faith decide the speed, and the path ahead grew clearer without promising what I need. In the hush between the pine trees, where my doubts had been. I learned God walks beside us when we finally let Him in. Stillness at Pine Crossing taught my restless soul to rise, letting go of all the answers I had chased through sleepless nights. When my hope felt distant under open skies, grace was closer than my cries again. Stillness at Pine Crossing echoes through my later years, turning hesitation and fear into healing through the tears. What I thought was waiting felt so long. Love was leading me along, all along. Single acoustic haunted rings. Standing alone at the edge of a field, I stopped beside the old fence line. When the stars came quietly, where the night fell wide and open, and the road behind me faded free. I had carried heavy questions from a year that wouldn't end, and the weight upon my shoulders bent me lower than I'd planned. But a lantern by the fence post cast a circle warm and small, and the glow against the darkness felt like hope against it all. So I leaned into that stillness as the crickets found their tone, and I felt a gentle mercy tell my heart I'm not alone.
In that calm and open silence, where the restless finally ceased, I could feel a quiet answer moving closer into me.
Lantern by the fence told my wandering heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step. I lost my way when my strength felt empty and my courage slipped away. Grace was lighting up the way again. Lantern by the fence held the darkness back from view, telling me the Lord was nearer than the fear I always knew. When I felt forgotten, He was standing true. Hope was shining straight on through
that night. The farmer checking his fields, a quiet, weathered farmer, walked out slowly from the barn, boots worn thin by years of waiting for the soil to soften warm. He nodded in the linen light with a look both calm and kind, said, "Son, I've stood right where you stand with a restless, heavy mind."
He spoke of crops that never rose, of prayers that felt delayed, how we learned to trust the darkness where the roots are slowly made.
And the truth within his story
settled deep into my chest, showing God does holy work long before we see the rest. In the patience He had planted, in the hope He didn't lose, I felt something deep within me start to gently change its view. Lantern by the fence lifted shadows from my sight, turning fear into a promise I could carry through the night. When my tears kept falling longer than I guessed, grace stepped in and did the rest again. Lantern by the fence glowed with mercy in the air, telling me the Lord was present even when the road was bare. When my faith felt fragile and my knees would bend in prayer, love was already standing there for me. Lantern by the fence, lantern by the fence, lantern by the fence.
I will wait right here, I will trust the dark, I will follow faith, not by sight but heart. Every silent night knows His steady hand. Every hidden seed grows where He has planned.
Leaving the field lighter than before as the lantern burned lower and the moon climbed overhead, I could feel my weary spirit find new strength in what was said. For the farmer's quiet wisdom and the stillness in that place turned the weight inside my memory into something full of grace. I thanked Him as He turned away toward the barn and fading light, and He said, son, God walks with you even when you lose the sight. Then the lantern softly dimmed as the night grew deep and wide, leaving courage in my spirit like a fire that stays inside. Lantern by the fence taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of heavy burdens I had carried through the nights when my hope felt distant under empty skies. Grace was closer than my cries again. Lantern by the fence echoes through my later years, turning quiet disappointment into healing through the tears. What I thought was ending pulled me near. Love was always waiting here for me.
Single close leg note, hornet pad dissolves, organ pad dissolves.
A slow morning on the porch, I stepped onto the old front porch as the morning found its way where the quiet held a sweetness only sunrise seems to say. I had carried hidden heartache from a season bruised and long, and the tremble in my spirit told me something here was wrong. But the stillness in the rafters held a peace I'd never known, and the breeze that shook the pine trees felt like comfort gently blown. So I settled in the rocking chair as the day began to form, and I felt a tender mercy wrap around me still and warm. In that early silent moment where the weary soul's unbent, I could feel a healing presence sit beside me like a friend. Quiet porch morning told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope fell fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Quiet porch morning wrapped a softness round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gathered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The retired carpenter next door, a gentle aging carpenter, walked up slowly down the lane, carrying a mug of coffee and a life shaped out of pain. He settled on the railing with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this porch has saved me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing purpose, of the years he felt undone, how he found the Lord in silence on this porch at rising sun. And the truth within his stories felt like sunlight on my chest, showing God can build new courage where the broken come to rest. In the wisdom he remembered, in the strength he slowly earned, I felt something deep within me shift like pages being turned. Quiet porch morning lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Quiet porch morning glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, "Rest in me." To me, quiet porch morning, quiet porch morning, quiet porch morning. Ooh, I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again. Every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again. I thanked Him for His kindness as He rose to start His day. And He said, "Son, God restores you in His patient, steady way." Then He walked back toward His workshop with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Quiet porch morning taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiven skies, grace grace restored what fear denies. Again, quiet porch morning echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Quiet porch morning, quiet porch morning. Quiet porch morning, quiet porch morning. I wandered down to Willow Creek as the evening kissed the sky, where the water held the colors of a sunset drifting by. I had carried hidden heartache from a season bruised and long, and the silence in my spirit told me something here was wrong. But the shimmer on the river felt like hope in gentle waves, and the breeze among the branches carried peace my soul once craved. So I settled near a leaning tree as the sky turned soft and meek, and I felt a tender mercy wake my heart at Willow Creek. In that fading golden moment where the weary hearts can rise, I could feel a gentle healing move like dusk across the skies. Sunset at Willow Creek told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile, my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Sunset at Willow Creek wrapped a quiet around my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gathered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The old painter by the water, a gentle aging painter, walked up slowly from the shore, carrying an easel weathered from the storms he'd faced before. He set it by the water's edge with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this creek has held me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing someone dear, of long nights he couldn't sleep, how he painted here in silence till the Lord restored him deep. And the truth within his stories felt like brushstrokes on my chest, showing God can shape our sorrow into something built for rest. In the colors he remembered, in the grief he learned to bear, I felt something deep within me lift like light through evening air. Sunset at Willow Creek lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Sunset at Willow Creek glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Sunset at Willow Creek, sunset at Willow Creek. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His heart like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. As the night grew soft around me and the stars began to gleam, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler, warmer dream. For the painter's quiet wisdom and the water's evening grace made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from its place. I thanked Him for His presence as He rose to end His day, and He said, "Son, God restores you in His tender, perfect way." Then He walked along the shoreline with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Sunset at Willow Creek taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Sunset at Willow Creek echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler, healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing